The rain poured relentlessly over Paris, each drop exploding into 1,000 tiny diamonds on the cobblestones. In the distance, the Eiffel Tower seemed to sigh, its lights twinkling with sympathy for those caught in the sudden downpour. Among them were a man and a woman, both strangers, just a moment ago. He was tall, with hair the color of wheat, and eyes like the summer sky. She was petite, with hair as dark as the raveness' wing, and eyes that twinkled like the stars. They had met at the base of the Eiffel Tower. When the rain turned from a light drizzle to a raging torrent, he had been waiting for a taxi, she for a bus. And when the heavens opened up, they had made a decision together to wait it out under the same small awning. At first, there was a comfortable silence between them, punctuated only by the drumming of the rain and the distant rumble of thunder. Then, as if driven by the rhythm of the falling water, he began to talk about himself, his dreams, his fears, his hopes. She listened, her heart echoing the melody of his voice. And when she finally spoke, it was as if the rain itself had found its song. Time slipped away unnoticed as they shared stories and laughter, two souls finding solace in the music of the rain. When the clouds finally parted and the first shy rays of sunshine peeked through, they stepped out from under the awning, blinking at the brightness after so much rain. The city around them was transformed, the buildings glistening like jewels, the trees shimmering with 1,000 tiny diamonds. And in that moment, they knew that something extraordinary had happened. They had found a piece of starlight between the raindrops. They walked together towards her bus stop, their steps echoing the rhythm of their newfound friendship. As they said goodbye, they exchanged numbers, promising to stay in touch. And in the days that followed, they did. They met for coffee, 4 walks along the Seine, 4 picnics in the park. Their friendship deepened, their bond strengthened with each passing day. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, it ended. She received a call, an offer she couldn't refuse, a chance to study abroad. With a heavy heart, she said her goodbyes and left for London. Years went by. The Eiffel Tower continued to twinkle, the Seine continued to flow, and the memory of that rainy night faded into a sepia-toned dream. For him, life went on. He built a career, he traveled the world, but a part of him remained in that little corner of Paris, waiting for her. Then one rainy evening, just as the clock struck 8, he saw her enter the cafe where he had been sitting. Time stopped. The music faded, and all he could see was the starlight in her eyes. They talked for hours that night, catching up on lost time, sharing their dreams and aspirations. The rain outside seemed to play a silent symphony, a duet of joy and reunion. But as the night deepened and the cafe emptied, a shadow fell over his face. A question formed in her mind. Why did he look so sad? He had told her about his successful career, his happy friends, his fulfilling life. So why did his eyes now hold a hint of pain? He was startled by her question. Had he been so careless? He quickly recovered, masking his emotions with a smile. He talked about his work, his latest project, anything to avoid the truth. But her gaze was sharp, and her heart was kind. She saw through his facade, sensing the hidden turmoil beneath his casual words. As the evening drew to a close, he walked her home, their steps echoing the rhythm of their unspoken feelings. At her doorstep, he hesitated, his heart pounding in his chest. Was this the moment? But then, as if pushed by an invisible force, she looked up at him, her eyes searching his. And in that moment, he knew he couldn't hide the truth any longer. He had to tell her. With a deep breath, he began to speak, his voice a mixture of hope and fear. But before he could utter a sound, a loud voice echoed through the night. Who's that? A man stood in the doorway, his face creased with suspicion. Who are you? He demanded. He stepped forward, his eyes narrowed, and in a flash, he pulled her inside, shutting the door firmly against the man who had come to tell the love of his life that he still loved her. She turned to him, her eyes questioning, and he saw his chance. With a final, I love you, he vanished into the shadows, hoping against hope that she would understand. The truth was, he wasn't just any ordinary man. He was the man she had shared that unforgettable night with years ago. And the only reason he had revealed himself before was because he was already in love with someone else.